let's get started. Hey everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm Daniel Cowan, founder of Big Star Lights, and I've been in the holiday lighting business for probably almost 20 years now. I began with an installation company that we grew into, about the seven figures, and we've had many wins and losses along the way, including in marketing, which we're talking about today. So I love to host sessions like this one to share strategies and learnings along the way. Before we dive too deep, I want to welcome the newest members of the BSL community here. Sorry, I apologize if you hear some drills going off in the background. There is some construction next door. This community has absolutely exploded in the past few weeks here, and we're really excited for all the learning that's about to take place. This is a platform where myself and other like-minded pro installers, we get to share knowledge and learn from each other's experiences. It's free and it includes access to training, modules, and live streams like this one. There's a premium version too that includes 20% off our website, which pays for itself in just $2,500 in spend. You'll get access to resources like photos and calculators, and we just added some discounts too, like from Sunbelt Rentals, Steep Gear, Strander, Holiday Home Concepts was just added today. So there's more to come. We have a bi-weekly community calls too. There's one tomorrow at the same time tomorrow. It's every 2 weeks right now. We'll transition to every 1 week soon. And where we get to sit down and discuss anything from your quotes to marketing to product to operations. Bring your questions, and it's a very open table. There's actually, as I said, there's one tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Bring your questions because honestly, guys, it's really a bit silly and expensive to figure this business out on your own. So I encourage you to come with your questions there. Everybody can learn together. Anyway, we're very excited for what we have in store at the BSL community. If you haven't already done so, you can register at community.bigstarlights.com. If you are signed in right now as a guest, you won't be able to comment or say anything or ask questions at the end of this webinar. You have to be logged in to be able to do that. So just a heads up, it's good to be logged in and be a member. All right, so let's dive into marketing. Why this matters, unlike other home services, Christmas lights have a very short season. You've got about 8 to 10 weeks max to capture demand. So urgency is everything. And homeowners aren't just shopping for lights. They're shopping for peace of mind. They want a fast, reliable installer who shows up, delivers, and takes the stress out of the holidays. And because of that short season, your schedule will fill up, whether you market or not. The question is, will it fill with the right clients, those who value quality and pay well? Or will you just take whatever comes? A big difference. And here's the key. Marketing is what lets you be in control of that outcome. It's the engine that drives consistency, predictability, and growth year after year. Who here has booked a customer that said, I saw your truck or I saw your sign? Maybe just put a 1 in the comments if you have. Just pull up the comments here. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, David, you got comments turned on here? I'm not sure if they are or not. Oh yeah, people are saying, yeah, there we go. Cool. Now think about your last 5 customers. How did they first hear about you? Was it one channel or multiple touch points? One-off ads don't cut it anymore. Running a single ad campaign or printing a few flyers won't move the needle. You need repetition and multiple touch points. Think of every channel as a megaphone for your offer, like door hangers, lawn signs, truck wraps, Google ads, social media. Each one is broadcasting the same message louder and louder. The power comes from consistency. Same logo, same color, same promise. Whatever a customer or wherever a customer sees you, they should immediately know it's you. So here's what a real customer journey might look like. They drive up past a lawn sign maybe twice. They see your wrapped vehicle on their street. Later, they scroll through Instagram and see your ad 3 times. Then, when they're finally ready, they Google Christmas light installers near me, and see the name. And because you're already in their head, they click and book. So there's a classic idea in marketing called the rule of seven. It actually comes from Hollywood in the 1930s. MGM Studios did this or discovered this study and discovered that people needed to see a movie ad at least 7 times before they decided to buy a ticket. That became a foundational principle in advertising, and it's still quoted today. But here's the kicker. In today's world, with shorter attention spans and more distractions, that number is actually higher. Research has found that the effectiveness goes up after about 5 to 9 exposures, with diminishing returns after about 10 or 12. Facebook's own data says it's about 6 to 8 exposures per week is the ideal for recall. And Google Ads shows most conversions happen after 7 to 12 brand interactions. So, what does that mean for you as installers? Customers need to see your brand multiple times across different channels before they act. A single ad or a single lawn sign won't cut it, but together, yard signs, wrap trucks, door hangers, social media, Google Ads, each one stacks to get you closer to that 7 to 12 exposures they need before booking. And here's the golden rule: consistency. Same logo, same colors, same promise everywhere. That way, every touch point builds on the last and drives them toward a yes. So each touch point has to communicate value. So let's get under the customer's skin a little bit here and discuss what they really want, even if they don't know it yet. Value, by definition, is made of 4 variables. And its formula is this: dream outcome times perceived value, or sorry, perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. So the bigger the dream and the bigger the perceived likelihood of achievement, the higher the value. Similarly, the smaller the time delay or the smaller the effort and sacrifice, the higher the value becomes. So on the extreme, if the time delay is instant, near zero, the value is really high. If it takes zero effort, it's also really high. So this is the backbone of why people buy. And marketing works when your offer scores high on the value formula. So let's walk through how this applies to Christmas light installation. So first is the dream outcome. Homeowners don't really want lights installed, okay? They want the best looking house on the block, the joy on their kids' faces, and the magic of the holidays without the stress. Okay, that's what they're buying. The second is the likelihood of success. It guarantees like or offer guarantees like love your lights or we fix them free. And before and after photos give customers confidence that they'll actually get that dream outcome. And the third is time delay. So the faster we can deliver, the more valuable it feels. When we promise specific install dates, show up on time, and deliver quickly, we remove the waiting and build trust. Okay, and finally, effort and sacrifice. Customers don't want ladders, tangled wires, or sketchy rooftops. By us handling design, installation, takedown, and even storage, we eliminate 100% of the hassle. When your offer scores high in each of these 4 areas, it becomes irresistible, and customers feel like they'd be crazy to say no. Most installers fall into the trap of marketing the service. For example, they might say, "We install Christmas lights." But customers aren't buying wires and bulbs. They're buying a dream outcome, a magical holiday home without the stress, danger, or hassle. So think about how irresistible this sounds. Redesign, install, take down, and store your lights. Zero hassle, guaranteed wow factor, and your neighbors will envy your home. That's not just a service, that's a no-brainer offer. Now, here's the key. We need to stack the value and show clients they're getting professional design so their house looks amazing, expert installation so it's done safely and right, safety for them so no climbing ladders or risk of injury, and a value of takedown at the end of the season and storage so they don't have to deal with the boxes in the garage. So when you package everything together, you're not competing on price per foot of lights. You're offering peace of mind, time saved, safety, and a beautiful home, all bundled. That makes the price feel like a bargain and makes it much harder for the clients to compare you to a cheaper, less professional option. One of the biggest reasons people hesitate to buy isn't price, it's risk. They're asking themselves, what if this doesn't work? What if I don't get what I paid for? When we remove that risk, people buy with confidence. That's where guarantees come in. A promise like, love your lights or we fix them for free, instantly shifts the responsibility from the customer to us. It tells them, we're so confident in our service that we're taking the risk, not you. This is also why at BSL we have an industry-leading 5-year product warranty. But words alone aren't enough. People believe what they see. Before and after photos, customer reviews, and video testimonials show them that their neighbors already got the outcome they want. This is proof that we can and will deliver. And we can take it a step further by turning satisfied customers into case studies. Instead of showing a pretty photo, we can tell a story where they started, what challenges that customer had, and the transformation that you created. That narrative makes the outcome feel inevitable for the next prospect. The higher their confidence that they'll get the dream outcome, the easier it is for them to say yes. But make no mistake, urgency converts. Okay, when people think they can wait forever, they do. But when they feel a deadline or scarcity, they act now. And in our industry, urgency is baked in. The season is short and we only have so many install slots. So saying something like only 40 installs this year, book by October 14th to guarantee your date, can make that crystal clear. I've seen countdowns on number of slots available on home pages before, and that seems to work really well. You can also combine this with a Christmas Day countdown too. We can also reward early action. So bonuses like a free wreath or a free storage or priority scheduling give customers an extra push to book early. So urgency reduces the time delay. Customers don't wait. They act sooner, which gets them closer to their dream outcome. So let's talk about effort and sacrifice now. Here's the problem. Most homeowners think about Christmas lights and instantly picture climbing ladders, tangled wires, freezing weekends outside. That's what effort and sacrifice looks like for them. And here's the solution. Our offer removes all of that. We design, install, take down, and even store the lights for next year. The customer doesn't lift a finger. And it's not just about convenience, it's about safety. They avoid wasted weekends, frustration, and most importantly, danger. So no ladders, no icy roofs, no electrical headaches. The less effort and sacrifice required, the more valuable the offer feels to them. And by eliminating 100% of the hassle, we dramatically increase the perceived value. And at the end of the day, customers aren't just buying lights on their house, they're buying back their time, their safety, and peace of mind. Okay, so I strongly recommend committing this formula to memory and just think about it every single time you have a communication that goes out. Does it improve the value, at least the perceived value for the customer? Okay, so now that we understand the customer's perception of value, we'll discuss channels to communicate it, with each channel forming part of the marketing ecosystem. Door hangers are one of the most underrated tools in the business. They let you target exactly the neighborhoods you want to targets, like high value areas, or the homes you know will pay a premium for installs. Okay, if you've had success in a certain neighborhood, focus on that neighborhood and hang door hangers everywhere. The design should be simple and professional. Don't overload it with words. Just, even this example photo I have here might be too wordy. Just a few clear phrases and a strong, beautiful photo of a finished house work really well. And remember, people only glance for a second, so it really has to pop. They don't really read these, they just kind of look at them. Here's where we take it up a notch. You can add a QR code. When someone scans it, it takes them straight to a booking page for a consultation. That means you turn curiosity into action instantly. No typing, no delay. And timing is everything. The first weekend, the weather turns cold, or maybe by early October at the latest, you want these on doors. That's when homeowners first start thinking about the holidays. And if you're the first company they see, you'll lock in early bookings before your competitors even get started. Door hangers work because they're physical. You can't swipe past them like a digital ad. They hang on the front door where the whole family sees them, and that visibility keeps you at top of mind. All right, lawn signs are what I like to call your silent salespeople. After you finish an install, you leave one behind, and it just keeps selling for you long after you've gone. They create buzz in the neighborhood. When one house gets decorated, the neighbors start thinking, maybe we should do that too. And a simple lawn sign can turn one job into three. But placement is key. Put signs in visible front yards, angled towards traffic at neighborhood entries and intersections. And don't be afraid to use multiple temporary ones around the job site while you're working. Like five or even 10 in the immediate area. And just grab them before you go. And this will maximize the visibility. On commercial sites, I'll use sandwich boards as well. The return on investment is huge. A handful of signs can generate dozens of calls at almost no cost. It's one of the highest return marketing tools you'll ever use. Just remember, though, always check local laws so you don't run into restrictions on where signs can be placed. All right, your vehicles, they're rolling billboards working for you 24/7, whether they're driving through town or parked in a driveway or even on a busy street. The key is visibility. Make sure your wraps have a big, bold phone number and website that anyone can read from across the street or while sitting at a stoplight. A festive, professional design does not look good. It builds trust. When people see a clean, branded truck, they think this is a real company I can rely on. And remember, every single truck is a lead generator. It's not just transportation, it's advertising space that you already own. Finally, don't underestimate parketing. I don't know if you've heard of that term before, parketing, where you simply park your wrapped truck in a visible spot. It could be at a job site or at a busy parking lot, or leave it on a busy street overnight. And this keeps your brand in front of people all day long. All right, events and home shows are powerful because you're meeting homeowners exactly where they're planning projects and thinking about improving their homes. It's the perfect time to get on their radar. When you show up, don't just hand out brochures. You bring our display case. I'm sure if you haven't got one of those already, check them out. Show samples of the lights, the clips, even make a mini demo setup. People trust what they can see and touch. It turns your service from an abstract idea into something tangible. Make sure you're collecting leads while you're there. Okay, a simple giveaway like a draw for a free install gives people a reason to share their name and email. And here's where the real long-term value comes in. Building your email list. Every contact you capture becomes someone you can market to again and again with seasonal offers, updates, and reminders. And it keeps your brand warm long after the event ends. Social media is one of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to showcase your work. Use it to tell stories, post before and after installs, spotlight your team in action, and highlight community projects. This makes your company feel real and relatable. Platforms like social or Facebook and Instagram are perfect for this because they're so visual. A simple time-lapse video of an install can stop people mid-scroll. And don't forget to include people. Okay, faces and families get far more engagement than just photos of houses decorated. To get the most out of it, boost your posts and target them to the right neighborhoods. And that way, people who actually live near your jobs are the ones seeing the work. And again, focus on neighborhoods maybe where you've already had success at before. And always encourage tagging and sharing. When a homeowner tags your company or shares a post about their new lights, it spreads to their entire network. That's free word of mouth marketing amplified online. Google Ads are one of the most direct ways to capture new business because buyers are searching when they're ready to book. These aren't cold leads. These are people actively looking for Christmas light installation. The key is using the right keywords. Simple phrases like Christmas light installation in brackets your city. Put your put you right in front of people at the exact moment they're searching. So always geo-target your ads and keep your spend local so you're not wasting money showing ads to people outside of your service area. And add urgency into the ad copy. Okay, phrases like spots filling fast or book now drive action and prevent people from putting it off. And timing is critical. Okay, launch when the weather turns or, by mid to late October. I found sometimes doing it too early can be a bit wasteful. So that's when people start thinking seriously about holiday prep. And if you're visible at that exact moment, you'll capture the highest intent buyers. It does get more expensive around that time, but I found it's less wasteful than too early. Retargeting is one of the most powerful and cost-effective forms of online marketing you can do. And here's how it works. When someone visits your website or interacts with your ads, you can follow them online until they book. Kind of creepy, right? Think about it. Maybe they don't call the first time they saw you, but the next day they're scrolling Facebook and your ad pops up again. Then they're on Google and see you again. That repetition builds familiarity and trust. And during the holiday season, when buying decisions are fast and competitive, retargeting is the gentle reminder that keeps you top of mind. And the best part, it's cost effective. Instead of paying to reach cold audiences, you're only spending money to advertise to people who've already shown interest. It also reinforces brand consistency. Every time they see your company across platforms, the message is the same, and that repeated exposure makes them far more likely to book with you. One of the most overlooked marketing strategies is leveraging the customers and partners you already have. Okay, your happy customers are your best marketers. If they love their lights, they'll naturally tell their neighbors, friends, and family. You can amplify that by offering referral rewards, a small discount, a gift card, or even a holiday bonus for every new client they send your way. But don't stop with customers. Think about partnerships too, like landscapers, painters, and realtors already have access to the exact same type of homeowners you want to reach. When you partner with them, you get warm introductions and shared credibility. You can also tap into your off-season client base. So if you already do home detailing or offer another home service, those same customers are perfect candidates for Christmas lights. And sometimes it's as simple as this. If you want more business, Just ask for it. Most people are happy to help if you make it easy for them. For example, without even having done the work yet, maybe you've just won the job at this point. Ask the customer, do you know anyone else that would benefit from the same service? They'll start naming, their family, neighbors, colleagues, and then say, amazing. Would you mind making a three-way text intro? And I'll send them some inspiring photos when I get back into my truck. So referrals cost nothing and have the highest conversion rates of all the methods we're talking about here. Your website is the hub of your entire marketing ecosystem. It's where all your ads and social posts and referrals eventually point. First, make sure it clearly lists your services, okay? Design, installation, takedown, and storage. Don't make people guess what you do. Second, show proof of your work. Use before and after photos, galleries, and even short videos to showcase transformations. And this builds trust fast. I love to use big, memorable, professional photos that include people so that it's easier for the visitors to visualize themselves enjoying the outcome. Every page should have a strong call to action. So buttons like book now or request a quote should be front and center so there's no confusion about the next step. Include customer proof as well, so reviews, testimonials, and your guarantees. This reduces risk and makes your offer feel more certain. And because this is such a short season, add seasonal urgency to the site as well. Mention limited slots, booking deadlines, and priority scheduling for early customers. And finally, don't forget your Google business profile. Link it to your site. Make sure it's fully optimized with photos, reviews, and accurate hours. This is what shows up in local search and maps, and it drives a huge amount of traffic and credibility. So marketing isn't something we do once. It's something we plan and layer throughout the entire season. And the weather plays a big role in timing our pushes. So in August and September, it's all about preparation. This is when you refresh your vehicle wraps, update ads, design and print lawn signs and door hangers. Make sure your website is updated. Even if customers aren't ready yet, you need to be ready to move as soon as it's time. And then in October, it's like 2 weeks away, it's go time. Once the weather turns cooler and people start thinking about the holidays, you hit the gas. This is when you launch ads, distribute door hangers and lawn signs, and roll out early bird offers. The first cold weekend is usually when homeowners suddenly realize it's time. So being visible being visible right then captures early momentum. In November, as the season peaks, it's all about retargeting and referrals. So homeowners who saw you in October but didn't act can be reminded with retargeting ads. And happy early customers from October become referral engines. In December, you'll see a surge of last minute installs. So these are the homeowners who waited too long but still want holiday magic. Keep your ads and visibility up because weather and urgency drive these fast decisions. And even after the season, off-season marketing matters. Stay warm through email and social media. Share content during spring or summer storms. And when that first crisp weekend arrives next fall, you'll already be at the top of mind. The key is to match your marketing calendar to customer psychology, events like Thanksgiving, and weather patterns. Being visible at the exact moment people are ready to act is critical. All right, so marketing isn't about one magic ad or one silver bullet strategy. Okay, marketing works best when it's layered. Customers almost never book the first time they see you. They need multiple touch points. So a lawn sign on their street, then a Facebook ad, then a truck parked at your neighbor's house, then a Google search. All of those exposures stack up until they finally say, okay, let's call them. That's why I like to think of marketing as an ecosystem. It's not about any single tool, but how they all work together. And when they're layered, you get sustainable growth year after year instead of just a one-time spike. Each piece, door hangers, lawn signs, social media, referrals, is like a megaphone for your irresistible offer. And here's the key. The ecosystem makes sure the right people see your offer enough times to take action. And that's when marketing becomes predictable, repeatable, and scalable. Okay, so as installers, it's important to remember we're not selling lights, okay? We're selling save time, avoided danger, neighborhood pride, family joy, and holiday magic. Okay, too often marketing focuses on the inputs, right? The commercial grade lights, the timers, the clips, but customers don't care about those details. What they care about is the outcome, how their life feels different once they are finished working with you. So sell the vacation, not the plane ride. For us, that means don't sell the bulbs and ladders. Instead, sell the glow of the house, the joy on the kids' faces, and the envy of the neighbors. When we frame our marketing around outcomes, it connects emotionally. People don't buy features, right? They buy feelings. And when we sell those feelings, the price feels smaller, the value feels bigger, and the decision to say yes becomes easy. All right, so we have covered a lot of strategies today, from grassroots tactics like lawn signs and door hangers to digital tools like Google Ads and retargeting to building out your whole marketing ecosystem. But here's the thing, every market is different. So what works in one city might not work the same way in another. So that's why I'd love to hear from you here. What's working in your market right now? Are you seeing more traction from referrals, from digital ads, or from community events? And on the flip side too, what's been your biggest challenges with marketing? Is it lead quality, standing out from the competition, or maybe just finding time to stay consistent with your efforts? I'd love to hear from you. So you can ask in the comments. I believe you can unmute yourself as well. And I'd love to hear what's been working and what hasn't been working in your neighborhood, if anybody has any input. While we're waiting for a bit of feedback here, just a quick reminder, our next strategy session will be October 6th at 5 or 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We actually have a guest speaker coming in. It's Paul Baluk from the Holiday Lights Academy. These guys have done amazing things with scaling, and the topic that he's going to be talking about is actually scaling to 7 figures. Can you imagine 7 figures in Christmas lights? It's absolutely possible. He's going to get into, critical shifts needed to move from the 6 figures to the 7 figures and how to build the right systems to be able to achieve that. And then also what metrics you should be measuring and watching closely as you scale. And then also he'll cover some of the common scaling pitfalls and how to avoid them. All right, I'll leave that up here, and we've got lots of comments here, which is great. Ben says Google Ads worked really well for him. Let's see here. Well, we got lots of comments. Yeah, he says getting his crews to actually put out yard signs is a challenge. Yeah. So I've incentivized yard signs before. I made it a game. If every vehicle can go through 20 yard signs a day, you'll go buy them beers on Friday or something like that. Just you can really gamify it if you're having trouble getting buy-in from your crews. That seemed to work out really well. Wes said Facebook ads have been throwing leads in so far. Not always the best leads, but still bring in some jobs. Yeah, I found Facebook leads can be sometimes weak, and but what I strongly suggest is to get those ads really focused in the neighborhoods that you're already doing well in, and that tends to work really well. I really just make it hyper focused. Josh says he gets a huge response from truck wraps. Totally agree. You know, truck wraps can be anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 depending on what you're doing, but it's well worth it. Yeah, vehicle wraps. Josh says Facebook ads have been fantastic. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Matt was doing a rental strategy in his area, and I'm assuming that's leasing lights. He said it didn't work very well. Interesting. We should talk about that offline, Matt. Jennifer says every time they mention that they'll store the lights, people ask if that means it will be cheaper next year. Good question. Okay, so that's communicating value. I'm assuming you're leasing. You voice to them that they're that it takes the same amount of time that, and I'm assuming if it is leasing, you own the lights, so that's why the prices will be the same every year. Obviously, you're probably most installations after the first year are significantly faster in subsequent years. You could sharpen the pencil a little bit or offer them an incentive to install October or even earlier the next year, and then that's cheaper for them, and then you get the added bonus of being able to get the installation done sooner. Right, you want to start your November with as empty of a schedule as possible because everybody knows here that November is AKA yes November. It's so easy to sell Christmas lights in November, and you really want to hit that month with a pretty empty schedule, be able to take those high intent buyers who are ready to spend a lot of money on lights. That's one way to do it. Maybe sharpen the pencil a little bit for an early install, but then get the added bonus of being able to get your season started earlier. Lawn signs. Chris says lawn signs. The clients once said, "What a great ROI. Put a lawn sign at the lawn. Oh, and you got a $5,000 job." Yeah. All right. Wes wants a whole call on leasing. Let's do it. Yeah. Well, come to one of our coaching or not a coach, our biweekly community calls, and we can talk about leasing. Happy to discuss that. How would you sell? Okay, done tiered rental even with another company I used to work for. First year is full pop, then 5% discount for successive years to a discount of a max 15. Interesting. So every year it was 5% cheaper. Your costs are probably going up 5% each year as well. So you got to be a little bit careful there. It might be, I don't know, maybe that's what you've had to do. I've found it, just offering a small discount just for, maybe 10% in September, 5% in October, and tiering it that way could potentially work. But 15% is a pretty big discount. I don't think you should need to go too deep there. Again, just try to push those repeat installs sooner and sooner and incentivize that because you can charge full pop and even more, charge 120% in November. How would you sell permanent lighting and Christmas lighting? Do you market them an option to go with either or pick one? Yeah. It, so permanent lighting is obviously one of the biggest topics in our industry right now. We've seen numbers where 30% of the inquiries last year were related to permanent lighting. This year, I expect that to go up to closer to 40%. So it is going to take this industry by storm. It's a good time to break into that. I think if you don't offer it, people will just walk on and go elsewhere. If you're not already offering permanent lighting, it's something you should strongly consider because you're going to lose the business. It's a high ticket item, and most people understand that, and so they're prepared to buy when they ask about it. Ben Richardson writes, "I'd love to advertise. I love the marketing side of things, but I'm struggling to scale teams in order to go down the marketing route. So we run 2 to 3 crews, and 1 year's had to turn down about 200 jobs. Ouch. 200 jobs, it's like 400 grand. They say it was a good problem to have, but it disagrees. Lost income and disappointed clients. Hopefully the ones you did were quality jobs and you said no to the bottom of the barrel jobs. So it needs better team training systems and, you know, back it up. Yeah, yeah. So training and systems is really important. Actually, I strongly recommend you attend the call on October 6th on scaling. They'll be talking exactly that. In terms of hiring, the last webinar we ran about a month ago, was on hiring and how to recruit and the questions to ask and what personas are really good for Christmas light installers. So have a look at the past events and you can check that out. And there might be some good advice there for Ben on his hiring. By the way, that same formula for value, you use it in hiring too, because you want to communicate value to top performing employees as well. It's yeah, the value formula can be used everywhere. Hiring, marketing. Lloyd writes 50% of my jobs last year were Govee. All right. Lloyd, how successful was that? How many callbacks did you have? I'm genuinely curious to know. I've heard mixed things about Govee, especially if you're in a wet environment. Really great questions in chat, everyone. A few more people typing here. Yeah, okay, Julian. All right, we're getting philosophical here. Do you think permanent lighting will make the temporary holiday lighting obsolete in the future? No, because there's no permanent lighting for trees. A lot of people still want their trees decorated. We've come close to it, right? We've got, in case you don't know, we sell strings that actually stretch and grow with trees. As if you're doing trunk and branch wrap, it grows up to 25%. But the fact of the matter is, lights that go on trees, they do have a pretty, they're not going to last, 10 to like 40 years like permanent lighting does. So I think permanent lighting will have a place, but I don't think it's going to be a full replacement. It's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be mixed in. I don't know. So Lloyd keeps adding in here. He was subcontracting, but now he's on his own. That he thinks that when you have 3 to 4 houses in a row with Govee, it looks tacky. Yeah, I agree. The Govies are they're not overly bright. Yeah, you should check out our we just launched a line this year called, or this month actually, Chroma Glow Pro. If you go on to, we just actually launched the training modules for it as well. If you go up top and you hit courses, you can check out the Chroma Glow Pro training modules. It's only like 30 minutes long. It's a simple enough system that you can learn in 30 minutes. And there's some resources there as well. So I encourage you to have a look at it. And it's very unique to Govee in that you cut it to size. You can do 300-foot runs without requiring power injection. And the bulbs are 1.3 watts. So it's really bright, aluminum tracking. But yeah, it's a really simple system. I think by far the most simple permanent lighting system on the market, just because it's using a 48 volt system, which allows us to do 300-foot runs. Oh yeah, Andre, thanks. Yeah, we did a session on leasing versus selling. Thanks for throwing that link up there. I totally forgot about that. We've done so many of these sessions now. Yeah, thanks, Andre, for linking the Chroma Glow Pro course. Yep, Josh, 300 feet, no power injection. Can you imagine? Just it goes on as simply as seasonal lights. That's the beauty of 48 volts. And it keeps the cost down too, because you're not running parallel wires and things like that. Time as well. Jillian's asking the cost per foot for the Chroma Glow Pro. Actually, I'll add a profitability link there. It's about 9.50 after discounts. It's about $9.50 US. I forget what the math is in Canada, but that's your cost. People are charging, we're getting off topic here, but people are charging anywhere from $25 to $40 a foot. It's pretty good margins. The goal is, you should be doing margins of around 50 to 55%. Yeah, gables and brackets. Oh man, we're going off track here. Okay, so I love the permanent lighting questions. I strongly encourage you to check out those training modules, which show the really cool accessories that we have, and including pieces where you can peak your bulbs without having to be an expert sheet metal cutter. There's corner pieces, so if you guys do hack jobs of cutting them aluminum, you can cover that stuff up. So check out those. The accessories are one of the things that make Chroma Glow Pro really a strong value proposition for adding to your business in addition to the 300-foot runs. Do you think door hangers make sense for neighbors with a lot of single family homes that have decent sized properties, so a half an acre and up the time? Yeah, you know what? They do, honestly. Yeah, door hangers, they work. So what I recommend is all your installation crews, they're putting out lawn signs, but they're also doing door hangers, like hang five houses up the street, 5 houses down the street. It's just that's what they do. It's part of the checklist when they're wrapping up at the end of the job every single time. And if you're struggling with getting your crews to doing that, incentivize them. You can even add words like, on the refer this person or your installer name when they see this for an extra 5% off. And then when they call in, they see the person's name, that person, that installer will get maybe a kickback or a $20 finder's fee or something like that. So turn it into a game, right? If you're struggling with getting people to do things, you got to gamify it. All games are measured. There's always scoreboards. So you need to have a scoreboard. You need to track it. You need it to be accessible so that people look at it every single day. And that's how you'll start to create a culture of marketing and comes back, incentivizes the installers to take part in the game. Really great questions, everyone. Happy to keep the conversation going at the call tomorrow. Again, it's at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We have the community call. You can talk about anything you want, and it's a great opportunity to share experiences and learn together. And I think with the amount of people we have participating in these now, we should probably start doing these on a weekly basis. Josh wants another call on ChromaGlow. Josh, watch the training modules. I don't know if you've seen them already. If you have and you still have questions, come to the community call and we can discuss ChromaGlow Pro in there. All right, Thread's getting a little quiet now. I think we'll end it here. Thank you everyone for your comments and joining us. I really hope you come out to the one on October the 6th where we've got Paul Baluk speaking from the Holiday Lights Academy. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, a real playbook, operations manuals and stuff like that, those guys at Holiday Lights Academy are really great. And I believe there's a discount there with them as well if you're a member of the BSL community. So if you go into our discounts tab, you can check out a link to the Holiday Lights Academy. There's free discovery calls with them. Doesn't hurt to give them a shout and see what they're all about. But I think you'll find a lot of value. I know we've had some installers go through their program and it added a big boost to their operations and subsequent sales and revenues. Check them out as well. Amazing. All right. Oh yeah, Andre thinks it's $1,000 off the Blueprint program. So yeah, $1,000 off if you are a premium member of the BSL community. So again, if you're to become a premium member of the BSL community, it's just $500, and that gives you 20% off of the store. So it pays for itself pretty darn quick, but it also gives you some great access to some really great discounts as well. Excellent. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have yourself a fantastic evening. Good luck with your preparation for the upcoming season. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.